Hello everyone, my name is Jada Velasquez and today I'm going to be showing you guys a quick tutorial on how I use this budgeting technique. I personally will not be using any Excel shortcuts in this video just because I'm on my laptop, but you are more than welcome to if you'd like, and I'd like to apologize in advance if you hear any background noise. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So right here, I have sort of like a little template to show you guys what I can do, but the final product will look something like this. So on the left side, we have our monthly expenses with the date of the expense, the description, the amount. And personally, I like to keep track of what card the purchase was made on, so that's why I have that here. And then, of course, the type of purchase it was, whether it's food, merchandise, etc., and whether the expense has been paid off yet or not. And I do these little drop downs using data validation, and I also use some conditional formatting as well. Once I adjust these totals here, for example, if I change this unpaid to paid, it'll adjust these totals here. Do the same thing if I change it back. And I'm able to calculate these using the SUMIF function. Same thing with these categories here, between merchandise, food, etc. I'm able to also calculate with the SUMIF function. And using this table, I'm able to create this pie chart just to give me a better visual on how much exactly I'm spending within each expense type. So for example, I've spent 68% of my budget this month on food, which means I probably shouldn't spend so much on food next month. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So if we go to this template here, let's just zoom in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. I have some purchase examples. So right here, I purchased, for example, some food at Wendy's for $12, my rent for $1,000 for like say like it's next month's rent. And then also I have what type of account it was for simplicity. I only did credit and checking. And then same thing with the category. I only did food, other, and necessities. So first off, I'm going to show you how to use the data validation tool. So first we're going to select the range you'd like, for example, just so I can show you how we're going to go ahead and clear that. So we're going to select the range here. And then we're going to go to the data tab. Then we're going to go to the data tools section here and to data validation. From there, we'll change this thing to from any value to list. And then we're focusing specifically on the paid versus unpaid expenses. So we're going to include that there. And click OK. So now we see this drop down menu on all of these cells, and I'm able to say whether the expense is paid or unpaid. So we'll go ahead and just say all these credit expenses are unpaid and all the checking are paid, of course. So I'm going to adjust that here. And then if you would like to include some conditional formatting, it's the same exact thing. We're going to select the range we want the conditional formatting to apply to, but instead we're going to go to the Home tab here. Going to go to conditional formatting and click New Rule. From there, we're going to format only cells that contain. We're going to format only cells with the cell value that is equal to. And for example, first we can start with paid, and we're going to format it here. So we're going to start with the font color. Let's say we want their paid expenses to have a dark green font color, and the background color of the cell to be this very light green here. Just so it's a little easier on the eyes, it'll show us a preview, and then we'll click OK. So now our paid expenses are going to be this green color. Same thing is going to apply for our unpaid expenses. So we're going to do the same exact method. Format only cells with a cell value that is equal to. This time we're going to put unpaid. Format that here. And now for the background color, we're going to make it like a lighter red. So we'll go to more colors here and choose sort of this pinkish one right here. Click OK. And then for the font, we're going to go for more dark red. Again, just so it's easier on the eyes. Shows that preview there. Click OK. And that's how that looks. So that's how you use the data validation as well as the conditional formatting. Now we're going to move on to calculate our paid versus our unpaid totals. In order to find our paid total here, we're gonna go ahead and start using those formulas now. So we're gonna do equals sum if. For our range, we're gonna make sure we're including the status column. So we're gonna select this whole range here. For our criteria, so since we're trying to find specifically our paid total, we're gonna click this. And for our sum underscore range, aka the sum of the specific range, we're going to calculate the totals for this amount range. Close the parentheses, and that gives us the total of 75. If you'd like to double check here, we can see here if we want to focus specifically on these paid expenses, we see the soccer ball purchase at Academy and the Zelle to the Investment Society. 50 plus 25 is 75, and that is correct. We're going to use the same exact method to find our unpaid totals. So equals sum if. We're using the same range on the status column. Only thing is the criteria is going to be different because now we're trying to find the total of our unpaid expenses. So we'll click this here. And then we're going to find the sum for this amount because we're trying to find the sum of our unpaid expenses. Close parentheses. And there's our unpaid expenses. And again, if you want to double check, we have this 1,000 in rent unpaid, this $5 in Disney Plus subscription, and this $12 in the food purchase at Wendy's. And of course, that all adds up to $1,017. Moving on here to our total monthly spending, it's not nearly as complicated. All we have to do is a regular sum function. We add our paid totals plus our unpaid totals. And there we go. We have our total monthly spending. Of course, if you don't want to do that, you're always more than welcome to come to this table here, click table design, and add a total row here. So there we go. It totals that for us. So you don't have to have the formula handwritten here on this side. Then we also calculate the totals of each category. And of course, this is optional, but I personally like to do it in order to be able to make a pie chart at the end. So this, we're going to do the exact same thing, use our sum if function, only this time, instead of using the status section for our range, we're going to use the category section because we're trying to find this specific category. So we're going to find the one for food specifically, right? And we're going to use the same one to calculate the sum. And there we go. It gives us $12. So we spent $12 this month on food, and you can see that's accurate because we can see our only purchase for food is at Wendy's. Then we'll use the same exact thing for our other section. Criteria is going to be different this time. We're going to make sure it's other. Like this range. Boom, $75 for other. And again, you can see here that checks out. And then for necessities, same exact formula, same exact range. Only thing that changes is the category. Then you can see our total there. Oh, made a little bit of a oopsies. I didn't type that correctly. Give me 1 second to fix this. So then we'll select this category here. Select necessities. And then this here. I made a bad mistake. So sorry for the confusion, everyone. Wait 1 second to fix this. There we go. Not sure why it messed up so bad before. Sorry about that, y'all. But now you can see there are totals for that as well. And then, of course, this checks out because it's a necessity section. 1,000 plus 5 is 1,005. So that all checks out there. So now from here, if you would like to include a chart, just for if you're a visual person like me, all you have to do, so I have this table selected here, click insert, and then I prefer pie charts just because it's easier for me. If you like something else, you can use that as well. And so I just get a basic 2D pie chart, move it over here. You can put it wherever you'd like. I'm going to decrease the size. And there you are. And of course, you can add as many elements as you like. So just for simplicity, I'm going to add the percentage. You can also use the value and the percentage, but I'm just going to choose the percentage here. And I'm going to position it to the outside end to increase the readability of it all. And there we are. So now we can see 92% of these expenses are towards necessities, 1% is toward food, and 7% is toward other. So there you have it. That is essentially how I use this budgeting style. If you would like to have a copy of the template, go ahead and email me, or if you have any questions, I'll put my email in the description down below. But I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it was very informative, and I'm sorry about that little oopsie towards the end. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, and thank you for watching.